What is going on, everyone? Commodore Lazar today brings you guys my live reaction of the Kingdom Greatness manga chapter 623. Now, the chapter's been out since earlier this morning. Shout out to Senscans and Turn Farmers as always for bringing the greatness of Kingdom week in, week out, because a certain company in North America continues to fail us on a weekly, a monthly, and an annual basis. And now, I had some errands to run, so I finally was able to get a chance now to sit down so I can read Kingdom, and I still have some stuff to do later today. So without further ado, man, we got to get into it. We saw the start between Shin and Hou Ken last week. Hou Ken obviously had the upper hand in everything that went down. And the man apparently embodies the epitome of what mankind is and stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Shin's going to respond basically now that season should be on the counter and stuff. But how this whole thing's going to play out. Because it's like if we get like a flashback or anything even more to what we know already of Hou Ken, I think it's almost a guarantee we can see Shin getting a W here. But if not, it's like it can go either way. I don't foresee anything in regards to Shin dying anytime soon. If he dies, it'll be more or less like towards the end of the story, from whatever needs, like after he becomes a great general and stuff. But maybe severely injured at best, I can see. But he's got to get this W now with Hou Ken. I just can't see the man running off after finally getting this rematch on. And, you know, he has to. Okay? Shin has to avenge Big Lip Sama. It's only certain that it happens. But for me to find out, I gotta read the chapter, so we gotta do what we gotta do, man. Let's get into it. Chapter 623 of Kingdom. Alright. So volume 57, 623, to serve as an example. Well, if this is Hou Ken saying it, then it makes sense. But if it's Shin being the one to say it, this is an example of what you do. If you touch my loved ones, you get boxed out, man. Taking out the paint, as it should. Alright. Okay, so start off right now. So Kane's like watching on everything. Of course, you can see the sweats and like the fear in her face because she's witnessing two monsters just going at it. It's like, what? What do you mean, sir? Hou Ken-sama is mankind's representative. And you see where Boku's looking on. You just see like from the hit still going on right to Shin, man. I don't know if it's the prior encounter or like what's happening like as they're speaking right now, because last time we saw Hou Ken was just like all normal. Well, was like just looking on at Shin and stuff from afterwards. If we are to talk about Hou Ken, then we must begin at our first meet. We're getting a flashback. Oh man. Yo, hold on, Hara, bro. We're page 1 in. Yo, are we about to get it? The moment Roboku and Hou Ken-sama first met, that would have been 19 years ago. 19 years ago. That's before his assignment to Ganmon, so way before I met him. So going back to their side story and stuff, I'm fairly sure that period was when Roboku-sama was... Back then, I was a fool who knew only of throwing myself headfirst into rolling waves of warfare, and that fixation cost me many things that I held dear. I mean, remember, we saw what the scars on his body, the whole thing. Remember, we saw like in the story, his arm, going by the side story, his whole body is like purely covered in it. So of course he had to have gone through some insane stuff back then, man. Following a crushing defeat at a certain battle, I found myself deep within the mountains, hounded by enemies, entrails barely held in. And right when I was thinking to myself that it was now finally my time as well, bro, look at that, a young Roboku. Bro, he appeared. Look, bro, he's holding a tiger! Is that tiger a bear's head? Bro, look at him! In all his glory, bro! Before the scars, before anything. Dude, it's not a lion, though. It's a creature of massive magnitude. And they met Hou Ken and just, that was it, man. But look at that, bro. Roboku just goes slant eye, just turns to the side. A meeting of destiny. And he, bro, if it was a random buster, man, Hou Ken would have just watched him, be like, what are you doing here? And just take him off. But obviously, it was a chance meeting right there. But dude, we're actually getting the backstory. The living embodiment of martial arts appears within the sea of trees, dude. I love the attention to detail right here, but you see like the veins and everything like going like directly towards like the hands as he's holding on to his glaive, man. But yo, 623 to serve as an example, dude. I know the muscle detail, man, is absolutely nuts, man. When Hara decides to draw like that, but yo, we're actually getting the Flash. It's pretty much a guarantee. There's no way I can see Hou Ken surviving unless they treat it like the Lu Bu situation from Dynasty Warriors. If it's like that, then it's gonna play out a certain different way. So all looking in fear. My delirium and hazy vision led me to think, and we're sticking with the flashback, like, good, that this thing that had appeared before me was not even human. I remember musing to myself how strange it was to stumble upon the inhuman being right as I died. This man, he get glared right away. The hockey, he's like, "Who art thou? All that stands in my path shall die by my blade and return to the earth." Bro, yeah, he took out a tiger, bro. Right, I still, to this day, bro, I still remember how hype it was when he like fought the tiger and everything too, and just like when he had the unleashing hockey and stuff. And I forgot if it was Keisha that went to go and see him, but it's the one where he's like, no, where Roboku had asked, I think, Keisha to go and search out for Hou Ken, and he's like, I guess we need to ask for that man. You remember when he had that panel where him just like hockeyed up like crazy and stuff? He's like holding onto like the dead tiger and the other hand, man. Like, it just gives me those vibes and stuff. Anytime I see Hou Ken with a tiger, man, it's just absolutely raw by default. And he just chucks a thing right afterwards to Roboku. Bruh, he put the glaive right to his neck. And he's looking on. You see from Roboku, he's not even blinking or nothing. He's just saying, you know what, if this is my time to die, man, it is what it is. What is wrong? Didn't you say that I stood in your way? End me if you so wish. I have nothing left. My parents, brothers, friends, and comrades, all lost to the flames of war. I let them die. I have nothing left. Oh, and you just see the tears drying out from his face. And he just removes the blade from him. There exists a role for you to play. You still have yet to carry that out. There are voices that whisper. Silent to your kind, but not to me. The voices of the earth. It was they that led you to me. They made this meeting possible. You are the one who shall guide me towards the answer that my path seeks. Bro, these Bushins, man. And you see Roboku's like, what the hell? I'm sorry, but you have the wrong man. I have no idea what you're saying. One day you'll understand, Roboku. Remember this. I am Hou Ken, a path seeker, and he just left him to be, man. When I woke up in the morning, my body had somehow been healed enough to stand. And as I took those wobbling steps, I came upon a mountain of corpses, my enemies who had been pursuing me. Yo, he created the path to get into safety after, yo. I mean, again, we know that he's nothing more but the trap card to Roboku and stuff, but at the same time and stuff, you see, like, at the very least, what Hou Ken was able to do for Roboku in that time of need. Like, he knew, like, of course, this was going to be the man that was going to help him out to seek out what exactly he desires on his own path and stuff. So, by doing so, open up the path by ridding of the enemies that were coming after him. Wow, man. And then we're going back to the present now because it just switched from the black to white. He's like, what? That path seeker. As their name suggests, they are a group who seek a path. And that path is none other than the salvation of humanity. Like, huh? After having my life saved by Hou Ken in those secluded mountains, I chose to distance myself from the army for a while, in part because I had grown weary of battle, but also because I wished to travel and learn more about Hou Ken and the Path Seekers. During that journey, bro, wait, is he meeting other ones or is like him? No, it has to be other. No, wait, is it him though? It's so hard to tell because there's like so like small detail and everything, but I'm assuming there's other Bushins. I learned that path seekers have existed since the era of the constant warfare that predated even the 5 centuries we stand in today. So of course it has to be another guy. Because if it was Ken, it's clear as day you could have just shown a little bit more and stuff. Of course there's other Bushins that are around in China. The beginnings were comprised of some of the wisest individuals of their time. Disheartened by the foolish nature of endless warfare and lamenting the suffering that it wrought, they gathered together in search of an answer. In an age where conflict continued to expand despite the people's wishes, they concluded that their method was incorrect to begin with, and that to search for a path in a world of perpetual conflict was the very definition of futile. The reason being, so long as one man believes that differed from another conflict will be born, so long as man still possessed passion or emotions, this world of suffering would never change. So he's basically trying to reset everything completely to one exact feeling. So any other conflicting feelings that come into play won't lead to the trials of war. It's almost honestly like how we have Say's way of how he wants to try and unite all the states together into making China to prevent the likes of warfare from continuing. But in the sense, that's his view. And then you have from Hou Ken's perspective, this is how he's trying to do it. If everyone else has different views and feelings and stuff for it, of course that's how it's going to work. So, bruh. That's kind of nuts, man, when you look into that perspective, though. That's how Hou Ken's thinking, and mainly just how the other Bushins for sure think. But those emotions that we feel are exactly what makes us human, are they not? Cain. That's right. And so they concluded that the only means to solving such a great contradiction was for every man and woman to become an existence that transcends humanity. Transcend humanity. And he just looks at Hou Ken again. It was from that point on that the path seekers vanished from society, choosing a life of seclusion within the mountains, dedicating themselves to the single-minded pursuit of a path. Because first they had to serve as an example to us, to become a model of that which transcends humanity. An example. Oh man. Yo, when you make sense of what the title is supposed to refer to the chapter, now it's like, yo, these guys are serving the example of what could be a transcendent humanity, man. Hold on, Hara. Their reasoning is not something comprehensible to the normal people such as you and I, but according to their beliefs, the workings of life are such that if through some miracle a single individual is able to transcend to new heights, the greater whole will also transform and be uplifted to that level. And everyone just looking all nervous. And thus the goal of their path, so to speak, is to demonstrate to the heavens that they have transcended humanity. Wait a sec. He has his arm gushing of blood. Did Shin get a hit in? Because I see blood right there. Did he get a hit in? Come on. Don't tease me like this, man. I'm sorry, sir, but you've lost me. He said, huh? So the path seekers believe that by becoming something that surpasses the rest of humanity, all the rest of us will... That's right. Then does that mean Hou Ken Soma is also... Hey, hang on, sir. Are you telling me that every time Hou Ken Soma has gone on a rampage, it is simply to prove that he himself is the strongest? And you see the shiver right on Kane's body, man, because, the hockey's true. That is the path that Hou Ken has chosen. His path. You may mock them or sneer at them in disbelief, but the path seekers sincerely believe that when even one of their number is able to surpass humans and step into the realm close to the divine, humanity as a whole shall evolve into a greater existence than our form now, where we may finally be unshackled from this world of perpetual conflict and suffering. They believe this with their entire body and soul. What are you saying? There's no way something like that could. And they're just like shooketh, man, because this is what they're realizing the kind of person Hou Ken is and what he has decided that this is who he will be, man. What? Tears? Why only the left eye? Bro. Yo, it's insane. When they heard the truth, they're in tears. I'm telling you, man, this guy's got emotional hockey. Is smacking everybody around them, bro. Sir, those things they say and their actions, it's all so ridiculous and absurd. I am aware, however, it isn't pop, bro. Is that the one the first? Bro, it's getting my eye too. It's getting my eye too, bro. Is that the first Bushin that he had met on his journey after the fact? It is impossible for you and your ilk. This is the only way towards salvation. Shin, Captain, and you see Shin right there, bro. I mean, he's getting swatted back, but you see right there, feet dragging at least, trying to hold him together. The goal of the path seekers is to save mankind. To that end, each have their own given path through which they may demonstrate transcendency. Some choose to meditate until they turn to dust. I'm even heard amusing tales of men throwing themselves into gorges in an effort to learn flight. Hou Ken has dedicated his all, every fiber of his being, to the path of becoming a martial god, a Bushin. Bro, and that's the end of the chapter. Nah, man. Bro, the detail into who Hou Ken is. I think this is something, honestly, a lot of fans will probably appreciate more. Even myself, because I've always called him nothing more but a track car and stuff and just the ties to Oki. But now it's like when you see what lengths he's willing to go to, man. Because honestly, like when you really look into this perspective, his way of thinking, the end goal in some ways too, is that he's trying to find his way also. So like that the whole concept of war is not built upon multiple different feelings. If he's able to get everyone down to one feeling, then it just stops everything from going the way, you know, it's supposed to go, right? Like with Say, it's like he has his own ideals of how he wants to try and stop war from transpiring. So his way of trying to unite all the states into one country, that's his thing and stuff. He's trying to do it without bloodshed. But Hou Ken knows, man, but for him to do that, of course, transcend to above, you know, humanity itself, the epitome of martial might. Like, oh, man. Like, this is good on his character, man. I mean, he's definitely still not among my favorites, but at least now with his characterization around him and just the whole concept of the Bushins, because again, they're like this whole group that I want to know a little bit more at the very least, since we only know like the gist of it from what Kyokai stated from before. But this is some good characterization at the very least with Hou Ken, man. And like just him, his people, and like that type of thing, you know? And like the flashback too with Roboku and Hou Ken. And knowing the fact too that like Roboku even had like siblings and stuff that he had cared for and stuff, so it's like, oh man, I think that's probably the earliest we'll probably ever get for Roboku too, unless like he's like near his death and we see like far back as to him when he was a kid and stuff. I would like to see that, but I don't know if we'll ever get it, to be honest. But the fact that Hou Ken right now is getting all this stuff right now coming to him, you have to think next chapter it's gonna have to be Shin's season, because I can't see it to where you go 2 chapters where Hou Ken's been getting the coverage and Shin's not going to go and like, you know, put on his own masterclass. So yeah, this was a really good chapter to me, man. I'm going to go and say probably around like an 8 out of 10, maybe 8.5, because there's some really good characterization stuff in regards to Hou Ken and just, you know, his beliefs and why he is the way he is and everything, man. But almost got me, man. Like I see like Kane and all the other officers tearing up. It's like, but it's more not in the terms of sadness, it's more of like, this dude is for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is like the truth, really. But just like the truth, man, sometimes you got to get someone to take down the truth, and that person being Shin. But yeah, great chapter this week. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below in regards to Kingdom this week. If there's anything in the chapter you guys want to talk about, you felt was important, that didn't get enough coverage on it, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And let me know, do you see now that in the next chapter, Shin has to be the one to be on the offensive? Like, he has to go on the counter. We should not be getting any more stuff yet, or stuff in regards to like Zhao from like Roboku and Hou Ken. Now we should probably go back to the Chin side of things and stick to Shin now. Hopefully get on the offensive. If you see that happening, or if you have any other idea of where this can transpire afterwards in terms of leading to the climax of their fight, let me know down in the comments. Like the video if you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new here. If you want to be part of the weekly experience when it comes to my coverage of the Kingdom manga week in and week out, subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the bell, Shandora, so you have the day with everything that goes on the channel. And with that being said, chapter 624 next week. Really looking forward to seeing what's about to go down, man, because Shin, if he goes on that offensive counter, and not only because Hou Ken was able to hit the stuff from his point of view, if Shin's able to say some of the stuff afterwards, even though I doubt he heard anything from Roboku since he's in the middle of the fight, but if he's able to say some of the stuff from his time with Say and why he's trying to do what he's doing right now. That's all I can ask for. But I'll see you guys next week. So Commodore Lad signing off. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, take care. Going crazy. Yeah, we going crazy.